Hello, this is a demo of the Programma module by Blind Monk Modular. It is a 6 HP programmable control voltage generator. Programmable means you can send gates, LFOs, other types of signals to the inputs and control how the envelope or output voltage behaves. So if you send a signal to this up input, the voltage rises, an input to the down input, and the voltage falls. The pause input will hold the current position of the voltage. There's a reset input, which will reset the voltage to 0. There's a speed input, which controls how fast the rise or fall happens. There's a clock input, which will override the internal clock, which I'll get into later. There's an output speed control knob, which is added to the speed input here, and an exponential knob, which changes the shape of the rise and fall. I'm going to be using the drum sequencer on the BeatStep Pro to control the module, but like I said, you can use other things like clock sequencers, LFOs, other envelopes, but the BeatStep Pro is great for sequencing the inputs of the module. So this button is controlling the up input. This button will control the down input. This pad controls the pause, and this is reset. And I've got the output of the module going into the pitch input of the microbrute so you can hear how it affects that. And it goes from really fast to kind of a medium speed to fairly slow. And I've got a little sequence programmed in here. I'm gonna play for you. It's just some triggers to the up, down, and pause inputs. And you may say, oh, that's neat, but where it really comes in to be useful is when you sequence other things with it. So I've got the peaks doing some drums here, and you can sync it up with anything else really. And now I'm going to plug in the speed input, which is coming from the sequencer of the BeatStep Pro to change the speed. And you can hear it going from slower modulations to faster ones. You can also trigger the LFO mode or loop mode by using a single gate. Right now I have a passive splitter coming from the microbrute's gate output, and that's connected to both the down and pause inputs. So when I press a key, it loops, and when I release the key, it stops. So you can trigger that LFO or loop mode by triggering both the pause and up or down at the same time. You can use the sequencer to create even more complex things where one step will have both the pause triggered and the up or down, and it'll loop for that step and then it'll stop looping once you release that pause. You can also use it like a more conventional envelope by using the retrigger mode, where you trigger both the up or down at the same time as reset, and it'll retrigger the envelope. So right now I've just got that gate output connected to both the down and reset inputs here, and then I've got the output going into the pitch and the filter cutoff here. And with the exponential control here, you can get some nice kind of thumpy bass drum sounds. So the clock input works by overriding the regular speed exponential controls here and advances the envelope forward on each input. So right now I've got the output of the disting LFO going into the clock input here. So the faster the LFO goes, the faster the envelope moves along. Slow right now, and as I increase the frequency, the faster it'll go down.